cuties! So, I bought more books, as you know, but I did way better this month. I bought about half the amount of books that I normally do. I restrained. I also currently don't have my Owlcrate because it did not arrive in time. It might be arriving tomorrow, but if I get it in time before I edit this video, I will insert the Owlcrate stuff here. Ha! Surprise, it finally came. I just got off of work though, so I don't look as, you know, glamorous as I normally do. But we're gonna open the Owlcrate. Last time we opened Owlcrate, I was trying to guess what it is, and I think the theme is like rebels with a cause. And before I was really racking my brain because I just could not think of anything. I thought maybe we were gonna get a contemporary because we haven't had a contemporary for a while in Owlcrate, but it's not. I'm 99.9999999% sure that it's gonna be Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. I think that's what it's gonna be based on some of the other hints that they posted about it, but I just wasn't thinking about it last time. So we're opening it now. Is it? Here's their little thing. I'm not looking at it. We're not looking. It'd be really funny if I'm wrong. Of course, you get all of this. We'll just set that there. I think there's also a graphic novel in this. I think there's two things. I have no idea what the graphic novel is because I do not follow them so much. Got this crystal as our pan. So long as you fight the darkness, you stand in the light. Saba to here. So that might be from Ember in the Ashes, which I have not read yet. Oh, they're straws. We have metal straws. Okay, we have a bunch of reusable metal straws. That's different. All right, Owlcrate. Not giving me the same stuff again. That's nice. But it does come in a nice pouch. That's cute. Something wrapped up. Ooh, a wood. Oh, it's a magnet. We've got never allow yourself to believe you should be silent, which is this little guy here. It's a wooden magnet. Wooden moment. Oh, it's from the Bone Season, which I have not read because I have the last two books. I don't have the first book. I can't get it anywhere. Oh, wow. We have trivets. May the stars keep you steady and the iron keep you safe. We've got trivets. That's definitely, all right. We could use trivets here. What's this quote from? Again, we check. Heart of Iron. Heart of Iron. We've got some stickers, which is really good and timely right now with protests and stuff going on. So they're very nice. We've got hope in the shadow of fear is the world's most powerful motivator. In a society that profits from your self-doubt, liking yourself is a rebellious act. You are your own best weapon, and nolite de bestardes carborundorum. I can't pronounce Latin. Here is our graphic novel, Witchy. It's called Witchy. I'm like, how do you say? Because it's a very interesting font here. It's called Witchy by Ariel, Slamet, Reese. In the Witch Kingdom, Hyalan, the strength of your magic is determined by the length of your hair. Those that are strong enough are conscripted by the Witch Guard, who enforce the law in peacetime and protect the land during war. However, those with hair judged too long are pronounced enemies of the kingdom and annihilated. This is called a witch burning. Okay, so better start growing out my hair. The art in this looks pretty nice. Should have my sister judge it, but she's working, so can't judge that. That's cool. And the book is here. And I'm right. I'm so right. Ooh, interesting cover though. I'm not sure I like it more than the real one. Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. Hey. So this is a Spanish historical fiction with magic, I think, is going on here. Rebel Spy. This is the Owlcrate exclusive cover. Here's the real one. There's actually a couple ones, and I like the one without the person on it the best, but I like the person on it more than I think I like this one. It's okay. The other one is much more bam pow in your face. So the next series is going to be All the World's a Stage, which is a circusy theme. What circus books are coming out? It's gonna have coffee in it. That's the sneak peek is gonna have coffee. What circusy book? I don't even know. I might have to do some research. What? Maybe Notorious Virtues? I don't know. I'm gonna go with like 20% Notorious Virtues as of right now, but I got no other clue. Can't win them all, I suppose, but that's my Owlcrate for the month. On to the rest of the haul. Disclaimer, a lot of these books I actually got for free, which is pretty freaking awesome. I didn't realize I had an Amazon gift card. And I also finally was able to sell books because my Second and Charles did open up, and I got a lot of store credit for it, so I traded in a lot. I still have store credit after that. Crazy, right? And then I was still supporting a lot of my local bookstores like Book Bar, and my pre-order from them came. A few other stores around. If you guys are looking for a store to support, especially during all of this time with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and all the protests, especially in Minneapolis, one of the really good stores that was supporting all the protesters and helping them and giving them snacks and drinks and stuff while they were marching and stuff is Moon Palace Books. They have both new and used books there, and I ordered 3 books from them. They're not here yet, so they'll be in my June haul when they do get here. But if you want to support a local bookstore and one that is supporting a very good cause, then go check them out and you can contribute that way as well. And also right now, I hope everyone is staying safe but not silent. Let's talk about books because that's what we do here. As you guys know, in my May Reads video, I read the first 2 books in the System Divine, and one of the books was Between Burning Worlds by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell. This is the second book, and when I read it on audio, I knew I had to have it physically, so I was able to get myself a copy of this for free. That's one of them I read. It's really good. It's a Les Mis retelling, and I definitely like the sequel more than the first book, which is, I know, rare, because a lot of books suffer from sequel syndrome. This one does not. I have no real order for the rest of these books, so we're just gonna go through my paperbacks first. How about that? Actually, we'll go through my classics first. I got a couple classics on Book Outlet because they have the paper mill press versions, and I kind of want a full collection of these because I think they're really pretty. But we have The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain and The Arabian Nights, which is selected and edited by Andrew Lang. I really love the stories of Arabian Nights, so I wanted some good copies of it. I don't know what, I hope in August I'll be able to like read a bunch of these, so I just think they're very, very pretty covers and will make a nice addition to my collection of classics. With paperbacks, I got a few contemporary romances because I'm now a sucker for them. And I have The Plus One by Sarah Archer. This deals with a genius who builds her own boyfriend. And so it feels very Zettai Karashi, which is Absolute Boyfriend, which is a anime, manga, and Japanese drama. I think there's actually Korean versions as well of it. Gave me those vibes and I enjoyed it, so we'll see how this plays out here. I have The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa, and this is an enemies to lovers, so you know I'm gonna pick that up. And Our Stop by Laura Jane Williams. This deals with kind of a faded meet cute, maybe sort of kind of, where these two people have the same stop and kind of fall in love with each other in this way. It's interesting. Then in some of the fantasy stuff, I have The Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls by Claire Legrand. This is a middle grade novel. I purely got this because cover. I really like this cover, and I think it has some fantasy aspects to it. I don't know a whole lot, but should be very cute to read. The Crowns of Croswald by D.E. Knight, which deal with fairies, I guess. I almost took this off of my list, but then it appeared in Book Outlet for super cheap, so I think this is also, no, it's a YA. It's 16-year-old. I thought it was a middle grade based on the cover. It has a middle grade style to it. I don't know. Then we have In the Shadow of Blackbirds by Kat Winters. This is a historical fantasy, but also deals with the 1918 influenza epidemic. So if there's ever a time to read about a plague, it's now. It also deals with a girl named Mary Shelley Black, and this is where I'm not sure if this is an interpretation of Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein. So we'll find out when we read it, but that's what really intrigued me to this. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is another LGBTQ one with I think it's a male-male romance. And I don't know a whole lot. I kind of was unsure if I wanted to pick this up, but I did get it for free. I am worried that they both die in the end. I'm hoping that that's not really the case, but we'll see how it plays out. I have a duology. So half of this duology I have already read, but that is Bookish Boyfriends, A Date with Darcy. I read this as an audiobook. It's very cute. It throws you for a loop in thinking that it's going to be Romeo and Juliet, and then it's very, very Pride and Prejudice. But it deals with a girl who loves to read. She's obsessed with reading and stuff, and her teacher recommends reading Pride and Prejudice to her during all of this teenage romance stuff that's going on for her. And it's kind of this parallel into it where she's interpreting the book as her own life, but that's also a dangerous thing to do. So this is really cute that way. And then the sequel, The Boy Next Story, which deals with her younger sister in this, and she is reading Little Women. So that will actually play because of her best friend in this is kind of, I assume, the Laurie character with this, and she would be more of the Amy character, if I'm interpreting this correctly. We'll see, but this is the second one. There is a third one coming out that I'm excited for because I really did enjoy A Date with Darcy, and we'll see how I feel about this one as well. Moving forward, one I was super excited to get because I have already read this, but I loaned it out to somebody who is never going to give me back my books. And it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. Sometimes you lend out your books and then friendships fall and they'll never get them back to you, which sucks. But I got a new copy of Six of Crows. So, and it's better because my other copy had like a rip on the side and this one doesn't. So I have a new and improved version of Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. If you haven't read it, what are you doing? This is BookTube. Everybody's read it here. Not to shame you on it, but read it because it's really, really good. If you don't know anything about Six of Crows, it's like a fantasy heist and it has amazing characters. It's got LGBTQ rep and snarkiness and just characters that you absolutely love. Then I found a duology that I don't know a whole lot about, but it did sound kind of interesting, and that is Dividing Eden by Joelle Charbonneau and Eden Conquered. This is a duology dealing with, I think, a brother-sister duo that have this fantasy, you know, monarchy that they fight for. So, 2 siblings, 1 crown. 3 Dark Crowns kind of thing, anybody? And then a book that I meant to read a few months ago, but I didn't get a chance to because it never dropped into my audiobook app, Libby, but that is Queenie by Candace Carty Williams. This is a hard-hitting contemporary book starring Queenie, who is in, lives in Britain. She's Jamaican British, and so it's kind of her own struggles living in this world. I've been told a lot of great things about this, and it's kind of honest and politically charged, politically driven prose. So we'll see. I'm unsure entirely about it, but I have heard really, really good things about it, so I hope that I will finally get to read Queenie at some point. Next up is a newer release that I'm really excited to finally have my hands on, but that is The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. This is a LGBT contemporary novel about these boys whose fathers, I believe, work for NASA, and one of them might actually be going to the mission to Mars. That's right, the first manned mission to Mars, and it's kind of their own little story together into this friendship and then into this romance between them. So I think it's going to be really cute, and I love the cover for sure, and we'll see. But I hope actually once I finish my TBR of this month that I'll be able to quickly pick this up as well. I have it as an audiobook on my Libby app already, so probably we'll get to this anyway. Next up, I've got Lucky Caller by Emma Mills. This is a new Emma Mills. I actually haven't read anything by Emma Mills, but I will be reading Foolish Hearts. It's right there, so I'll get to my first one. This one's cute. It's a little contemporary romance. I don't know too much more than that right now, but when I put it in my cart, I obviously liked it. That's kind of how this goes. I put them in my cart and then I immediately forget what they're about. More sibling stories. We have Sisters of Shadow and Light by Sarah B. Larson. I've been very excited to finally get my hands on this. I do like the cover. It's very different than other covers that I've seen. But again, sisters, monarchies, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. So I'm just excited for this one. When I saw it, I knew I was going to pick it up, so if you've read it, let me know. Then we have Jane Anonymous by Faria Stollard. This is a hard-hitting contemporary, I believe. This deals with a girl who I believe was kidnapped and trapped in like a basement or something with some other people, and she does escape from it but has to live with the consequences of knowing she escaped and other people didn't. So it should be a very hard-hitting contemporary that I am really looking forward to. It was one of my anticipated releases of 2020, so I'm excited to finally get to it at some point. I say, finally get to it. Sure, just like all the other books. Another new release that I'm very excited for. I pre-ordered this because it is a Kiera Cass book, and if you don't know, I am Selection Crash, but this is her new book called The Betrothed. I've already heard mixed reviews, so I'm very nervous about this, but I think if we read the selection nowadays, it would also have very mixed reviews. So I'm just hoping that it's gonna have the same kind of feel that Kiera Cass's writing gave me when I read the selection series. We will see, but we have Hollis, who is gonna be the queen, basically. She gets engaged to the king, but, you know, drama. It's time for some drama. This is normally very outside of the realm of what I would normally buy because pretty girl in a pretty dress on the cover, but it's Kiera Cass, so I'm trusting her. Then we have Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. This one, I can't totally remember everything about it. It deals with someone who disappeared, and there might be some more ghosts and stuff in this as well. I'm not sure if it's full on like mystery thriller or if there's also a paranormal element into this, but I've heard really good things about Rules for Vanishing and I'm excited to read it as Facebook notifies me of someone talking to me. Then we have Deviate by Jay Kristoff. This is the second book in the Lifelike series. There's also a third book called True Life? I think that's the third one. I don't know too much. I know it's sci-fi. I think robots, maybe, I'm not sure, but it's Jay Kristoff, so I'm gonna pick it up because I like Jay Kristoff's writing. Next up, I have the sequel to These Witches Won't Burn by Isabel Sterling. So we have This Coven Won't Break, and I get to put it here now because I got it. It's the new one, but gay witches. There you go. That's all you need to know. I now have this one. I don't know if it's a duology or if it's going to be a trilogy or further than that. We'll see. I feel like it's duology, but you never know. But I am looking forward to reading this. It's one I've been wanting to read for a bit now, and I'm excited it's on my TBR. Another contemporary, we have The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You. So I think, and this is by Lily Anderson, sorry, almost forgot to say that. I think this is another enemies to lovers story. It's got nerdy culture in here. I already see the words Doctor Who, which honestly I'm tired of seeing Doctor Who in literature. We'll see, but I think it's going to be a very cute enemies to lovers story. Then we have a book I hadn't heard anything about, but it is Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. And this one was, I found it at Second and Charles. I got it for free. This is actually a Fairy Loot edition because it's signed and it came with like bookmarks and stuff in it. We have it signed right there. And I don't know a whole lot. It just looks amazing. It's got some, where is this set in? Bolivia. This is set in like with Bolivian culture, which I don't know much about Bolivia, do you? So I'm excited to read this. It looks really great. I love the illustrations on this. I am a sucker for an illustrated cover, so I'm excited. I just picked it up and now we have it. In the mystery thriller genre, we have Killing November by Adriana Mather, who's also the author of How to Hang a Witch. I almost forgot. I was thinking of Haunting the Deep, which is also by her, but I was thinking of the first one. This is a different series. There is a second one that's going to be coming up called Hunting November, and all I know is that it's mystery and it's got a lot of great reviews already. I'm interested to see it. I think we have conspiracy at a boarding school or something. Should be interesting. All right, I've got a couple more left. Next up is a book that I have already read, but I really liked it. I read it as an audiobook, and now I have a physical copy, and that is Pride by Eb Zavoy. This is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, also a POC version of it, so it's really interesting. It deals with Brooklyn and kind of gentrification, and of course, it's Pride and Prejudice. So I really like this. As you know, it was one of my Zodiac recommendations, but I enjoyed it. Other people don't enjoy it as much, but I thought it was very fun. I thought it was very timely. Like, if there's gonna be a modern Pride and Prejudice, like, yes, of course it's going to be about Black culture. Like, that makes so much more sense in the modern world. It's just like how if anybody was gonna interpret Anne of Green Gables, it would be either Anne is now Black or Muslim. That is the new way, I think, to bring those stories into the modern age with these stories and characters, and to make it still have that same impact. So I like this. You may as well if you're into a good culturally significant Pride and Prejudice retelling. Next up, I have a sequel to a book that I am excited to read, and that is Chosen by Kiersten White. This is the second book in the Slayer Chronicles. The first one is Slayer, which I have, and I'm really excited because I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer so much. I love the show a whole lot. I love the movie a whole lot. I just love it. So I'm very excited to get back into the world of Buffy. And lastly, my pre-order for the month that everybody pretty much has gotten by now, and I finally got my copy, but I pre-ordered this from Book Bar, another local independent bookstore, and that is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, the prequel to The Hunger Games. Wah! A lot of controversy over this because it is a villain origin story, but I love villain origin stories, so why not? This is gonna surround the 10th games where Coriolanus Snow, the President Snow in the Hunger Games, this is his origin, and he is now a mentor to the District 12 females, so should be interesting. We'll see how we feel about it, but I really love the Hunger Games. I think they're still a great read after all these years with them, and I'm excited to get back into the world with it. I'm a little nervous to do it because there's always hesitancy with an author that has really established, and then you get their new stuff and you're like, oh god, I hope it's still good. So I will be reading this next month. All right, and those are the books that I got. What'd you guys buy this month? Did you buy anything cool? Did you also pre-order Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? What are you excited to read? What do you think I should pick up? I definitely have a few of these that I'm probably going to read, or I'm definitely going to read in the next month, because July, I get to pick whatever I want. Hell yeah. And there's about 3 books in this pile that I'm definitely already putting on my TBR. What did you guys buy? What'd you like? And if you guys like the content that I'm putting out there, go check out my Ko-fi page and you can help support me as a content creator. And if you have any questions, you can leave them down below in the comments or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. I'll see you next time, cuties. Bye!